In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the SIRUI Mini Tripod. At the end of this video, you're going to learn about all of the features and then hear about my experience using it. For the first impressions, and part of the reason why I actually picked it up is because it is really durable, and I have other tripods from SIRUI, and I know that the ball head that is used here is pretty high quality. If you look at other types of mini tripods, sometimes they're like flimsy, and specifically the ball head isn't really high quality. And I am mounting my phone to this, but I also sometimes mount my camera to this, and I want something that also has a good ball head in addition to be able to hold a lot of weight. And as you can see, it does fold down really small, which is a huge win. You might be able to put this in a pocket if you have like an oversized jacket and you want to, slide it in, but this can fit really in any backpack. Also, first impressions, when you actually interact with the knobs from some of the ball heads, it is very smooth. So it does feel very high quality when you first get it out of the box. It also comes with some accessories for mounting your phone. And this little hardware I'll talk more about later, but it's something that I've actually used and it's been very helpful in other situations too. Now let's talk about more of the detailed features. So you have three kind of like points here. So ready? 1, 2, 3. So you get three types of like adjustments that the legs can make, and they have these little knobs here. And then once you kind of like engage with the knob, there's like notches on the legs, and those notches control kind of how far and what angle the legs go. So for most use cases, I go on the last one, and then it's a tabletop tripod, so it sits pretty nicely on the table like this, and the angle of everything is fine. So I've never had any issues of it like toppling over. For the second feature, it does have a tiny little adjustable center column here. So when you spin the dial, you can easily move it up and down, which gives you a little bit of extra height if you need it. What is useful is this bottom part actually unscrews. So if you unscrew it all the way, what you can do is you can also unscrew the center console and it comes completely out, which is useful if you want to do any type of like bottom mount. So what you can do is then you take the top and then you thread it back in here. And then now what you can do is adjust the legs, and then you have a really, really low profile bottom mount, camera, whatever, phone, however you want to really set this up, you can do that. But you might say, that doesn't have a ton of clearance. So the next feature is the legs have this really interesting like click design that helps you kind of create a lot more height. So if you rotate slowly once, you'll feel like the first round of engage. And what that does is moves this like leg out a little bit. And then if you spin again, you get some more. And if you keep spinning, you get a whole bunch of others. And then, so this is the amount of height that you get for creating like, more height off of the ground, which, is useful for a bottom mount if you only want to have a little bit more clearance here. And then obviously to tighten the legs, you spin the other way and then you lock them in. So it is pretty nice in being able to have like lots of different adjustments that you can make. Now for the other feature is the ball head, like I mentioned. So for the ball head, it is very smooth, and the actual head adjustment, you have to like believe me, it's one of the better ball heads that I've used, and it is super smooth and it's also very accurate. So that big knob, which is a little big, and I'll get more into some of the cons in a little bit, but the knob itself, controls the ball head, which is great. And then this knob here controls the actual like 360 swiveling of the ball head. So you can really get a lot of adjustments with that. And again, it is also very smooth, which is a great perk. The next feature is there is this top clip, and that makes it so you have this quick access to be able to slide something in and out with this quick access plate. And with this quick access plate, you can attach other things. I attached this like extender for a phone mount, and that's what I used it for. But you might, attach this bottom part to your camera or anything else that you're mounting, and that will be pretty useful in making it so that you can easily slide something on the mount and then off the mount. Now let's talk about some of my experience using this tabletop tripod. So my first like worry when I was looking at product photos was actually on the feet. And if you look at them specifically on a surface, they don't always sit flush, and like maybe some tripods do, but this one doesn't. And especially when you have it fully extended, the angle that the like bottom rubber foot has in contact with the table is even like less flush. But it doesn't matter because I think that when there's weight being pressed down on it, I think the friction of the rubber feet when it has contacts with 3 points on the actual tripod legs, it's fine. I haven't had any issues with this like slipping or giving out in any way. And even when I have the tripod fully extended with weight on it, I haven't really had an issue with it tipping over like I have with like some other tripods that are actually really tall. When I got mine out of the box, the legs were actually like, some of them are kind of loose and one of them is actually really tight. So they take like a standard Allen wrench, and what you can do is easily tighten or loosen the legs however you want. So if you have any issues with the legs being too loose or being too tight, you can adjust them. One of the things I noticed about the ball head is, well, first of all, it is very good. I want to reiterate that, how good and smooth the ball head is. But the knobs are like full-size knobs on like a mini tripod. So this knob here is like, I think a little bit too big, and sometimes it gets in the way when you fold up the legs. So there's like only so much space that you can have for the legs. So a leg should go here, and then the rest of the legs can go kind of like here and here. But what happens is when you have the legs folded up, and let's say your knob is kind of in the way, like when you fold it up, you get kind of like a situation like that where the back of the leg kind of hits the knob. So you have to kind of make a micro adjustment on the ball head to get the leg sitting flush with the actual head itself. And that's how everything kind of like sits flush and folds compact. I mean, it's not a huge deal. And like, I guess that's sort of by design of this style of tripod, but it's something that is like a minor bit annoying. One other thing that I found really nice is the screw to tighten the quick access plate does have a bubble level on it. And that's really useful to making sure that your tripod is center. But even if your tripod is square, it helps you really align and fine adjust the actual ball itself to make sure that everything is super straight. Now we can talk about this accessory that comes with the tripod, and it sort of helps raise your phone off of the tripod itself. And then it's where you screw the phone mount onto itself. And it, threads into a standard 1/4-inch thread. One bad thing is when you have this off, this screw doesn't really have anything to fall into. So I've like sometimes realized that it's at the bottom of my bag, and then the like screw attachment is totally disconnected from this. The bottom of it does have a, other screw where you can screw the quick access plate into this. So you can easily pop this on using the quick access plate, and then you could pop it off, and it makes it really easy. I also noticed that my iPhone 16 Pro, so if you have any like pro level phone or really like any phone that's big, in portrait mode, the phone has like barely enough room when you're mounting it. So you might have to shop around for a similar type of accessory if you have a really tall phone. The other thing that I got that has been really helpful is this MagSafe attachment. And you can sort of like thread everything together, and then you could easily pop your phone directly on using this MagSafe magnet, which has been super helpful, and not having to mess around with a clip. And then, I don't know, I have a lot of opinions on these like bracket style clips for phones, because sometimes when I put my phone in, I end up turning the phone off. If I have my camera app open, it ends up closing it. I take a screenshot, like I go into emergency call mode. A lot of things happen, so I don't really like these. So having a MagSafe magnet to attach my phone has been super helpful. My expectations for the height of the tripod was totally met. I was able to get into a really like low position, which worked really well. I can adjust the feet and then sort of like make sure the center column is low, and then the like phone or camera that I'm using is like exactly where I need it. If I need a little bit more height, having more adjustments, and especially 4 levels of adjustments for the legs, have been really useful. And plus the center column goes up, so you can get a lot of height, or you can drop things down pretty low to the like surface that you need. Overall, I think this is a great tabletop tripod. If you have other tripods, I think this has a place on your shelf. If this is your only tripod and need something for like tabletop surfaces or something really lightweight and portable, I think this is also great. But anyway, I hope you found this review helpful, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.